Hey everyone, it's me again, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and I come to you with a short review. Well, I'm going to try to make it short anyway. Um, you all know that I love movies that have a touch of realism to it, and mostly that's usually like pandemic films. Movies that can actually happen are a little more scary, for lack of a better word, than totally outrageous movies that just entertain. Movies that make you think. Contagion was one of them. I just saw that recently, and I thought that was a very well done but very unnerving movie because it shows how simple something so small can spread and kill millions of people. Well, along those lines, I just watched a movie. I mean, as far as realism, not as far as like contagions and germs and stuff like that, but the realism. I just finished watching a movie called Megan is Missing. Now, this touches on the risks that are involved in the internet. Um, Deny it if you want. Some people say that it's hypervigilism. Some people say that it's just people overreacting. But the internet has made it a lot easier for predators to operate. Um, Used to be back when I was younger that you had some guy in a car saying that he had a dog missing, or, hey, do you want some candy? Or, it had that kind of thing. The whole stranger danger thing. And I know that they say that more kids are assaulted by people they know rather than strangers. So the whole stranger danger thing was kind of blown out of proportion. But there were people like that existed that tried to get kids into their homes or into their cars to drive off with them, do God knows what with them. The internet has made that all very, very easy. Throw up a fake profile, a picture you think your target will be interested in. Um, get a people trying to friend you on some social network. Uh, do your homework enough, and you can pretty much get any information you want on any damn school you want. So you can act like you go to school. It's very easy. It's too easy sometimes. I'm not saying that the whole abduction thing doesn't still happen. I mean, there are plenty of just simple snatch and grabs, but the internet has made it just a little easier. That's why it's important for parents who have young children, and by young children, I don't mean toddlers. I'm talking like teenage people who feel like they're indestructible and they're going to live forever. The people in that mindset feel they can do anything anytime they want, and there is no repercussion to it. And having been a teenager at one time, I can tell you there's always a price to pay for the choices you make. So in Megan is Missing, we have two girls, Amy and Megan. They're best friends. They go to the same school, of course. Amy is kind of a wallflower, and Megan is the party girl. She's more open. She's more, more experienced in life. I believe Amy was 13. Megan is 14. A little too experienced for a 14-year-old, but that's how life is sometimes. She's trying to get Amy to come out of her shell. She's taking her to like parties. She's, and you could tell like from the get, you got Amy who's kind of like she's self-conscious, doesn't really think very highly of herself. And then you got Megan who has a very low worth because she feels like she's just attracted. She's attractive to people because they want something from her. And she uses that charm to get kind of what she wants. Like she wants her friend Amy to go to a party that nobody wants her at. So in order to get her invited, she has to do favors for the guy hosting the party, and they're not nice favors at all. So the only reason I'm refraining from being too explicit is that the girls portrayed in this are minors. So out of respect for that, I'm not going to be crass. Okay, just you have brains. You know what I'm talking about. Um, so, anyways, as the story goes on, they begin to. Megan is introduced by a friend of hers to someone named Josh, and Josh has a picture of some blonde-haired surfer type, skateboard type, and he starts talking to Megan, and he makes up the excuse that he has no webcam because his brother broke it, and he almost gets caught in a lie because then he says something about his dog chewed it up, and he's like, well, "I thought you said your brother broke it." He goes, "Yeah, my brother broke it. Then my dog ate it." So just making up excuses as to why he's not on a live webcam. That just goes back to what I said. It's very easy to fake who you are on the internet unless you're in front of a webcam, because then they can see who you actually are. Uh, you can download pictures from anywhere and post it up as your own. There's actually laws that I know of in the United States, at least, that posting up a fake picture of yourself and claiming to be someone else, it's right along the lines of identity theft. And I think the reason that law is in place is because this has become a big problem with people making fake accounts and just up to no good with them. So, anyways, he starts talking up Megan, and he invites her to a party, and she goes to the party, but she doesn't see him there, and she gets really pissed off about it. Well, he says he was there, and he starts describing what she wore. And she says, "Oh, you really were there?" He says, "Yeah, I'm just kind of shy," and he's playing the sensitive role. So she thinks he's real sweet. How did he know what she was wearing? Well, before she left for the party, she laid out what she was wearing with the webcam still on. He saw everything she was going to wear. So he talks her into meeting her. He talks her into meeting him behind a diner, and that's where Megan goes missing. Her friend Amy is on this desperate search to find her. She's trying to get a hold of people. People don't like her, so no one wants to talk to her. And it just gets really dark from there on. And then Josh comes on. She's trying to talk to him. Have you seen her? Have you seen Megan? And he plays for their weaknesses. He plays towards their weaknesses. He knows that Megan is one of those types that needs to feel like she's loved. So he goes after that. Amy, on the other hand, he knows that she has very low self-esteem, and he attacks that. One minute he's talking her up, telling her she's pretty and stuff like that, and she's like, "Shut up, don't say that." And then he turns it around and starts telling her that she's fat, which she isn't, and she has no friends, which is kind of true. And just playing on her weaknesses. She eventually goes to the police to make a report on this guy, saying that he might be the last person to talk to Megan. And from there, it gets really, really dark and really, really deep. And towards the end of the movie, there's some imagery that, see, if this was a movie, just a regular horror movie of some sort, I'd say the imagery was kind of like, it was on par. But because of the subject matter, because of this is based on things that have happened. I mean, there's no denying this stuff happens. Okay? Whether it's off the internet, whether it's just walking to the store, whatever it is, people get kidnapped, people get used, abused, hurt almost every day. Okay? So it's kind of naive to say, "Oh, it's just a movie. These things don't really happen." No, they happen all the time. And because of that, because of the realism behind it, because the subject matter is so stark and real, the imagery that we are shown, it's disturbing. It was rather disturbing and very creepy. And it's like, okay, for instance, August Underground Mortem is like you're privy to a snuff film that somebody shot, and then you're watching that. It's all made up, of course, but that's what it's supposed to be. Well, the last section, the last 20 minutes or so of the movie, is basically watching what developed afterwards, after the abductions, and it's unnerving. Okay, it is. If you take it for what it's supposed to be, if you take it in the way they're delivering it, it is very disturbing. Um, I'm a father of two boys. Well, they're men now, but when they were growing up, I worried a lot because a lot of times they would just take off, and I would tell them, "Don't go too far. Let me know where you're going. Tell me where you're going to be that way, and tell me when you're going to be home. That way, if you're not home by a certain hour, I can worry." and I can go look for you, and I can find out what's going on. And that was after they got a little older. Of course, when they're kids, it was like 6:30, you're inside, and don't be where I can't see you. But too often, I feel that parents give their kids a little too much freedom, and I'm not trying to dictate how to raise your children. And all you youngsters out there who might be watching this video for whatever reason, I'm not saying that you're not intelligent. I'm not saying that you don't know right from wrong. But there is a percentage of you who feel like, oh, it's okay. It's just the internet. Nothing's going to happen. But you give up so much of your information without even thinking about it. I can go through Facebook and watch people posting stuff, and these are adults, okay? These are adults doing this, and it still dumbfounds me that they put every little thing they're doing. I'm here with so and so. Today I'm going here and here. I'm going to stop here real quick, and they have all these little posts that tell them everywhere they're going to be. And if anyone wanted to find them, it wouldn't be too hard. It wouldn't be too hard, especially with that new, what is that, Foursquare? You could check in places and tell who you're with and how many people you're with. And that's an abductor's dream come true, man. And you see that, and it's like, oh, check it out. Now, I'm sure you have to be signed up to it to be on like their friends list to see where they're checking in. But who knows? Like I said, a lot of the people that get abducted are by people who know. They know. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wouldn't be hard for, creepy Uncle Touchy to say, hey, add me as a friend, sure. And then he's watching you. He sees everything you do. So it's too easy. It's way too easy. Um, and if somebody happens to be attracted to someone online, they don't really question too much who they are, what they're about. They might say, hey, let me get your cell phone number. I don't have a cell phone. Call me. I'm at this number. Now they got your phone number, and then they'll tell you, I'll call you when I can. And they put up all this jazz and stuff, the smoke screen, faking who they are. I know someone who is a relative. I'm not going to say any more than that, but she's a relative. And on more than one occasion, I've heard that she tries to go meet people that she sees on the web. She meets them on the web, meets them online. Hey, yeah, meet me at the theater, meet me in the movie theater. And it's like, are you insane? Where are your brains at? That person could be anybody. You don't know, okay? So Megan is Missing touches on a very stark, a very dark reality. Was the movie good? Yeah, it was good. Was it entertaining? I'd say it was more educational than entertaining. But it kept my interest for sure. Was it disturbing? Yeah. Yeah, especially because at one point they touch on one of my own personal phobias. I have a very deep, dark phobia, and it's touched on in this movie. And I'm not going to say what the phobia is because I might give something away. So we're not going to do that. Do I recommend the movie? Definitely. Definitely. The thing is that it's a little strong for younger viewers. If I don't know how you feel about, your teenagers, if you let them watch whatever, then this might be something you might want them to see. A little bit younger, maybe the tweens, if you allow them on the internet, this is something you definitely want to talk to them about, if not showing them the movie. But if you're going to let them watch it, be there to explain it to them. And towards the end, it gets a little graphic. They don't really hold back much. So, yeah. Yeah, there were a couple of times I was kind of taken like, whoa, what the fuck? And it was pretty deep. So, yeah, definitely, if you get a chance, it's on Netflix streaming. That's where I just watched it. Megan is Missing. Yeah, it's an eye opener. It really is. I mean, this is not something new. This is something that's been going on for a while. Okay. Like I said, a lot of young people. I was young once too, and I know the mentality of I'm untouchable. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. It might happen to them, but it ain't gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's the mentality a lot of people had just before they got aced out or went missing, never heard from again. I'm sure they had that very same mentality. They had their whole life planned out. And then because of some silly mistake or trusting the wrong person, they are no more. So, sorry for that kind of dark review, but it's a very serious issue. And it's one that shouldn't be taken lightly by anybody. So, thanks for watching. I bid you well, bid you safety, and I bid you peace. And I hope you guys watch the movie. And parents, talk to your kids. They may roll their eyes. They may be like, "Oh, come on, man, you're so out of it. You don't know what's going on." It's not like it was when you were kids. Yeah, it's not like it was when we were kids. We didn't have all the technology you guys have now. We didn't have internet. We had to go outside and talk to our friends, and that left us vulnerable when we were outside of our house. Inside our house, we were safe. Usually, like I said, unless you had some weird relative or someone who came by and crossed the line, but in your house, you're safe. In theory. But now, people can come right into your home via a webcam and a computer screen, just like I'm doing right now. So, yeah, just don't want to scare anybody, don't want to freak anyone out, don't want to be an alarmist, but it is something that I think needs to be touched on just a little bit more. I don't think people are taking it quite as seriously as they should. You got a whole generation of Jesse Slaughters out there that are just putting themselves on the internet, not giving a damn who sees it or what anybody says. New breed of Jesse Slaughters coming out, and they will. You'll be hearing stories about them one way or the other. Either they ruffled some feathers or 9 days haven't heard from them. So you guys take care, and I will be talking to you all real soon. Again, thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, I watched this movie because it was recommended by Spanish Germ, and I'm going to put his link below. Go check out his review and read some of the comments people are leaving. I swear to God, some people are so ignorant. But yeah, go check out his review of it, and sub him and friend him. He's a cool guy. So I'll leave the link below, like I said. And you guys take care.